Storms giving parts of southeast Michigan a reprieve after dumping 3 to 4 inches in some locations. We'll see how long before our next round shows up.
All right, Ben, also a disturbing end to the search for a man who disappeared from a party. Where his body was found tonight and what police are saying about the discovery.
Robbed while running, a jogger attacked by 2 men. Now the whole neighborhood is on alert.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
But we begin tonight with 4 Live radar, where you can see things have calmed down a bit across Metro Detroit.
Another round of storms, though, rolled through tonight, and the next shot could be here in time for the morning drive. Ben Bailey tracking what's next. Ben?
Yeah, and maybe in some cases even before that, guys, even though there's not a lot to show you right now, down in our south zone, sort of getting brushed by this complex of storms that's rolling through Toledo and northern parts of Ohio. No severe warnings on this. There were warnings out for this line that's further back to the west, closer to Lake Michigan. Those have expired, but you can see the direction of this is moving to the east-northeast. So if this line is able to hold together, it will likely reach us before the sun comes up tomorrow. But beyond that, it was the rain that was the big story tonight, especially this area north of Rochester Hills, where radar estimated 4.7 inches of rain fell, and not far behind, right here north of M59 in Macomb County, 3.9 inches. And there were plenty of spots that picked up 1 to 2. But there were a lot of people that got nothing, and the only other thing that we saw was the damage report from Walled Lake, where a tree blown over onto a house, and that was about 6:45 tonight. Storms still possible after the sun comes up tomorrow. Temperatures 60s to start, 70s there at noon, and that may be our high for the day. We'll show you what this cold front's going to do in the afternoon, coming up in a few minutes, guys.
Tonight, one southwest neighborhood is dreading more storms, and this is why.
Massive tree damage crushed 2 trucks and 2 homes in last night's gushing downpour and high winds. The cleanup is going on right now, and our Mara McDonald is live in that neighborhood. Mara?
Kimberly, Devin, you guys have to see this. Take a look at the length of this. This is the root ball to this tree. You can see the stump. They have finally moved it out of here. But wait till you see what this did. Take a look. It has crushed 2 vehicles, and by crushed I mean crushed. These are probably not salvageable. And take a look at the houses.
So everybody's okay, thank God.
High winds and heavy rains brought down 100-year-old oak, smashing the homes and the trucks in the street. It was hard to see the extent of the damage until tonight, and it's bad.
My bedroom, which is right up here, there's cracks all in the walls. So I can't stay there with my kid.
Felicia was hoping the damage was contained to the porch and the roof. No such luck. The only good news is that no one in either of these homes was hurt when the tree came down.
My aunt, she told me to come out, close the windows. Thank God I came out and closed it. And I'd say like maybe 5 minutes after that, I heard the... I would have been probably crushed with the tree and maybe possibly been dead too.
In the middle of the tree crushing the front of their home, his aunt was panicking over the health of her 3-year-old grandbaby, who she takes care of. He has serious intestinal issues and had to be taken to the hospital just hours later. A lot is already on their plate. The tree that fell was on city property, and the city of Detroit got its people out here quickly and told the homeowners to get 3 estimates, and the city will pay for the repair. But for Martinez, who has cracks in her walls, what to do until then?
My daughter over there, she's not safe. She doesn't feel comfortable coming in here. She's scared. We were in here today in the wind, and she's like, I want to go, I want to go. And I mean, as a mom, that's hard to hear her that she's scared.
Back here live, I want you to take a look at this tree. This is a similar size to the one that fell. Neighbors tell us that they have been calling the city over the years about this tree and about the one that fell. They say it's dead, and when city crews came out today to remove the remnants of the big one that fell, they took a look at this one and said, absolutely, it needs to come down. So people here are breathing a sigh of relief that this will be coming down soon, but nobody here is excited about more potential rain. Devin, Kimberly, we're live in Southwest tonight. Back to you.
Mara, what about the cars, though? Any chance the city would repair or replace those?
I think, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a repair situation.
Yeah.
These are pretty crushed.
Yeah.
And what the people who own the trucks are not the same people who own the homes. And what they were told is the same thing. Give us 3 estimates for either, if it's not repairable, for replacement, and we're going to get it figured out. So everybody here is happy with the city response so far.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Good to hear. All right, Mara. We've got breaking news just in from Inkster, where police are on the scene of a shooting inside a convenience store. It happened at Fast Frank Party Shop on Inkster Road. Police tell us there was a fight and then a shooting inside. One man has been taken to the hospital. We are awaiting word on his condition.
And developing tonight, the body of a missing man from Hamtramck has been found. Jason Kudla disappeared on Sunday after showing up at a friend's party. His father tells Local 4 police found Kudla's body on Detroit's east side and that he'd been murdered. The investigation is ongoing. What started as an evening jog for a Washtenaw County man quickly turned into a nightmare when two robbers left him beaten and bruised. Jermont Terry joins us live from Ypsilanti Township where it happened. Jermont, I would imagine the neighborhood is on alert after all this.
They are, Kimberly, and that jogger is banged up and still shaken up by what happened. He was simply in his quiet neighborhood when two guys pushed him to the ground here and started beating him. This appears to be random, and tonight the sheriff's department is still looking for those individuals. A few barking dogs are what neighbors in the Pine Ridge subdivision in Ypsilanti Township are used to hearing. But Wednesday night on Willow Bridge and Big Pine Drive, something jarring caught their attention.
A scream. I saw a man running down the road and he seemed distraught. He was yelling loud enough that it caught my attention.
Neighbors heard the cries of a man out for an evening jog moments after someone attacked him.
Something bad had happened or something bad was going on. It was like upset.
That's serious. He was scared to death.
Nicole Carson lives across from the victim.
Just screaming. I've been mugged, my glasses, I think my nose is broken. He was limping a little bit. He was trying to run, but his face was bloody.
The Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office is looking for two men who broke the jogger's nose and fractured his knee during the assault. It turns out Carlson ran across four guys right before that assault.
4 young men at 10 o'clock at night walking down the middle of a road.
She called 911, and just when she hung up with the operator, she heard those same cries.
Within 3 to 5 minutes, he came running down the road, had been jumped.
Neighbors tell me there's been a few car break-ins and vandalism recently, but what this man endured is the extreme.
Should have followed him too. I should have made sure they were okay.
Well, tonight we know that 29-year-old jogger is okay. He's back home, and thankfully some of the neighbors came to his aid as he was attacked here. Now, the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department tells me that the two men apparently took off running down Willow Bridge here south, and that was the last anyone saw of them. Of course, we're getting two accounts. They know that the man was jumped by two people, but neighbors say they saw at least 4 people, so they're unclear exactly how many people are involved in all of this tonight. For now, reporting live in Ypsilanti Township, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
All right, Jermont. 8 months after the shooting death of Sergeant Colin Rose, a person has finally been charged in that case. 60-year-old Raymond Durham was charged today with first-degree premeditated murder.
We lost a valuable member of our department. We lost a very young officer who had a great future ahead of him. Even though we know the inherent dangers and the occupational hazard of this job, you're never prepared for it.
It's just been one too many here in this great city of our officers being attacked.
The charges help bring some closure in this case, but there are a lot of questions as to whether justice will be served. Durham is also charged with shooting 2 Detroit officers last spring, and he's already been found not competent to stand trial in that case. He refuses his medication in the treatment facility. He's going to be evaluated to see if his mental state allows him to understand the new charges that he's now facing in the Rose murder. After his appearance in court, Durham was sent right to the treatment facility. In fact, he will be reevaluated, we're told, then again in November. Kim?
The man who led police on this wild chase during an Amber Alert will face federal charges for crossing state lines with his girlfriend's daughter. Today, Grady Barrett made his first appearance in federal court since being arrested. The hour-long chase reached more than 100 miles per hour. All that with 2-year-old Sandra Renee in the back seat. Barrett is accused of kidnapping the girl in the middle of the night because he was angry at her mother.
I have confidence in the state, the federal government, that they're going to give him what he asked for.
The girl's mother, Gloria Camper, who you just heard from there, is hopeful Garrett will stay behind bars and out of their lives. Devin.
All 6 of the people hurt when a pickup truck slammed into a bus shelter in Warren. All of them remain in the hospital tonight. They all suffered broken bones when the out-of-control truck careened into the bus stop. The driver, a 55-year-old man from Roseville, remains in police custody on suspicion of drunk driving.
We now know it was a cable failure that caused multiple explosions last night in Greektown. The high voltage underground cable exploded. The force blew multiple manhole covers into the air. The back of the Athenaeum Hotel was also damaged with doors blown off the hinges. Fortunately, though, nobody was hurt.
Well, he won't be coming home after all. Today, a federal judge canceled Kwame Kilpatrick's restitution hearing scheduled for later this month. Former Detroit mayor has been challenging the amount of money that he owes the city of Detroit. Prosecutors agreed to lower the amount to $1.5 million. That's down $3 million from the original tab. Kilpatrick's attorney will file a motion arguing he deserves his day in court to convince a judge that he doesn't owe anything. Now, he's currently serving, of course, a 28-year sentence at a federal prison in Oklahoma for his conviction in 2013 on corruption charges. He's also still fighting to get that conviction thrown out.
The primary election is less than a week away. On Tuesday, voters across Metro Detroit will cast ballots in mayoral and city council races, and some communities have millage proposals. If you're a voter in Wayne County, you'll be using brand new voting machines. The county is encouraging people to get out early and be prepared for possible lines. Local 4 will bring you full results Tuesday night. And if you want to learn more about some of the candidates leading up to the primary, we have video profiles on clickondetroit.com. You'll find the link on the home page.
A meltdown at a fast food joint. Customers make a mess at a Chick-fil-A. What got them so upset?
Crazy car crash here. One man's brand new vehicle now in the repair shop after slamming into several cars and a pedestrian. You'll see what led to this.
But first, a disturbing case of animal cruelty out of Oakland County. What one man is accused of doing to his roommate's pet when we come right back.
A disturbing case of animal cruelty in Rochester Hills. A man is accused of beating his roommate's cat to death with a hammer. The suspect was apparently upset that the cat scratched him. The roommate says when he tried to save the cat, the suspect pushed him away. The 33-year-old was arrested and is facing charges.
Well, the image is pretty frightening. A massive fire in a high-rise building in Dubai. Interestingly enough, this 86-story building is called the Torch Tower. It is one of the largest apartment buildings in the world. Witnesses say at least 40 units were damaged. Cause of the fire is still under investigation. But the fortunate thing here, firefighters managed to get everyone out without any injuries. This same tower, you may recall, caught fire back in 2015, if it sounds familiar. But people are telling us that today's fire is worse. A big win for President Trump tonight. The Democratic governor of West Virginia confirmed he is changing his registration to Republican.
Jim Justice joined the president at a Make America Great Again rally and told the cheering crowd he can no longer help them as a Democrat. President Trump later took the stage and repeated his call for Congress to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act and promised a fix for the nation's infrastructure.
We are pushing a $1 trillion new infrastructure investment bill. We're going to fix our roads. We're going to fix our bridges. We're going to fix our highways and our schools and our airports.
The president also called the Russia scandal a fabrication. That comment comes after the Wall Street Journal reported a grand jury has been impaneled to investigate Russian meddling in the 2016 election.
We bring in Ben, who's had a busy couple of days. No summer doldrums for you. And look at this. That's a crazy shot from earlier today.
What is it?
Pretty wild. Yeah, it's sort of upside down, isn't it? How about that?
Well, if the road is on the roof.
Flip the phone. Flip the phone over.
Storm is the least of your problems.
Yeah, exactly. That was a scene from Clarkston, only upside down.
Yeah, well, but you got the picture.
Yeah.
The rain was coming down in Clarkston. In fact, there was a good chunk of Oakland County that really got soaked. In fact, when you look at the rainfall total maps, it's Oakland and Macomb County that really bared the brunt of these thunderstorms, especially that area that we showed you north of Rochester Hills, that yellow and even red dot there. That's where the radar estimated 4.7 inches of rain fell. And we say that's north of Rochester Hills, but down in the city, or in the village, I should say, 2.5 inches is what we estimated fell there. So that's a difference of more than 2 inches of rain in that short span of time. Then you get over towards 75. Auburn Hills probably picked up about a ½ inch. On the other side of 75, it looks like just about less than a quarter. So just within this small portion of east central Oakland County, a very wide range in rainfall totals because of those thunderstorms. Speaking of clouds, looks like Ricky caught the shelfie out there in Macomb Township. This was, he says, thunder and lightning, but no rain. So this is another one of those spots where they could hear it, but they didn't get any liquid relief, and a lot of us were looking for it. Some got more than they bargained for. Temperatures at 73 right now at Metro. Most of the areas in the 60s, at least north of 8 Mile, and that's where we will fall for lows tonight. High temperatures not going to be far from that as we get into tomorrow. We'll explain that in just a second. Model not handling the nighttime convection really well, although if we do see that line come in from Lake Michigan tonight, it's likely going to arrive somewhere between about 2, 3 in the morning. Chances of severe weather not completely zero, but they're pretty low as we get into the overnight hours. And then as we start tomorrow morning, it looks like we're going to start out dry. Cold front will sweep through and end those storm chances, and it looks like it's going to blow up those storms east of us. So still a chance we could see a shower in the morning, but once we get past lunchtime, we're looking at dry conditions. Should break up those clouds somewhat. There will be sort of a final push of light rain wrapping around that low as we head towards 8 o'clock on Friday, and then setting the stage for a really nice weekend. Sunshine coming back, and that is going to take us in to Sunday as well. So forecast tonight, 68. Again, a few of those thunderstorms possible towards sunrise, but once we get into the day on Friday, most of that day is going to be dry. High temperatures, mid-70s here in our metro zone. South zone temperatures, especially out in Lenawee County where that front comes through first, we're looking at upper 60s. West zone numbers anywhere between 69 in Howell and 73 in Canton. And north of M59, mid-70s with the front clearing there last. We don't see the north zone on the warm side of things very often, but we're going to be on the cool side of average from most of that forecast. Looks like we will get a much better chance of rain on Monday.
A little cool, in the 50s at night, yeah.
Yeah, not a very August-like.
No.
The AC could use a break, though.
That's right.
Take it.
Leave it that way. It's neither a prank nor a medical emergency. What could possibly have this driver smashing into several vehicles and the pedestrian you see in the middle of the road?
And it's hard to believe he survived. Video showing the moment a man is struck by lightning on the job. That's ahead.
It's a chance of a lifetime.
All right, next turn. Ready, go.
Learning to race in the pool with Olympic gold medalists.
So it really sort of inspired me.
Since they're like the best of the best, you really learn like what you can do to be like as good as they are.
These young swimmers with their own Olympic dreams had to earn their chance to swim with the elite swimmers. See who they helped for their chance to learn from the best tomorrow at 11.
So far, no arrests after a deadly firebombing on Detroit's west side. A woman who escaped the home says someone threw something inside early this morning, causing it to catch fire, and a 23-year-old man was killed.
A beloved firefighter laid to rest today after suffering a heart attack last weekend. It happened after Kevin Ramsey put out 2 fires back to back. Mayor Mike Duggan is now pushing for a heart health program for Detroit's first responders.
The Pistons can officially now move downtown. Today, the NBA owners approved the Pistons' bid to move from the Palace of Auburn Hills to Little Caesars Arena. It was really the last vote that was needed to make the move official.
It could have been much, much worse. A man in Florida survives getting struck by lightning. He works at the airport in Fort Myers. As a plane backed away from the gate, lightning hit the tail, traveled through the fuselage, and hit the worker. He suffered third-degree burns all over his body, but he will survive.
An angry customer gets out of hand at a Chick-fil-A in Florida. You're all right. It got so bad the employees at the Jacksonville restaurant had to call police. 2 women begin yelling at the workers. One customer begins recording the exchange. One of the women knocks condiments all over the floor. The women ask to leave, and on the way out cause about $900 worth of damage. Apparently it all started when the women demanded a refund because their chicken nuggets were cold. He says he got his driver's license 5 years ago, but that this was actually his first time putting it to use.
A man in China hits cars and a pedestrian after mistakenly hitting the gas instead of the brake while reversing. As he bumps into the cars, the woman you see there walking nearby tries to get out of the way, but he still manages to hit her. Oh my goodness. Luckily, she only has minor injuries. The driver says he just bought the car a few days ago.